うちょっと前、お水、はい。お水、飲み物。取り替えてくるよ。じゃあ先の本読んでましたね。向こうからちょっと続いてください。ゆくみさん。2、3。OK、4。4から。最初はマントラ。オムサハナオト、サハノフナクト、サハビリアムカラワワハイ、テジャスイナバディタマストマビディビシャバハイ。オムシャンティシャンティシャンティ、ハリヒオム。どうぞ。
仏教聖典。弟子たちよ、私の終わりはすでに近い。別離も遠いことではない。しかし、いたずらに悲しんではならない。世は無常であり、生まれては死なないものはない。今、私の身が朽ちた車のように壊れるのも、この無常の道理を身をもって示すのである。いたずらに悲しむことをやめて、この無常の道理に気がつき、人の世の真実の姿に目を覚まさなければならない。変わるものを変わらせまいとするのは無理な願いである。煩悩の賊は常にお前たちの隙を伺って倒そうとしている。もしお前たちの部屋に毒蛇が住んでいるなら、その毒蛇を追い出さない限り、落ち着いてその部屋で眠ることができないであろう。煩悩の賊は追わなければならない。煩悩の蛇は出さなければならない。お前たちは慎んでその心を守るがよい。終わりです。
もう少し、じゃあ後ろの方、はい。ゆくみさん、もうそれ見えないです。こっちもうちょっと見えるところ。どうぞ。はい、あなたは日光出てますから大丈夫ですか？もうちょっと
暑かったらずれます、
はい、
ありがとうございます。弟子たちよ、今は私の最後の時である。しかしこの死は肉体の死であることを忘れてはならない。肉体は父母より生まれ、食によって保たれるものであるから、病み傷つき壊れることはやむを得ない。仏の本質は肉体ではない、悟りである。肉体はここに滅びても、悟りは永遠に法と道とに生きている。だから私の肉体を見る者が私を見るのではなく、私の教えを知る者こそ私を見る。私の亡き後は私の説き残した法がお前たちの死である。この法を保ち続けて私に仕えるようにするがよい。弟子たちよ、私はこの人生の後半45年間において、解くべきものはすべて解き終わり、なすべきことはすべてなし終わった。私にはもはや秘密はない。内もなく外もなく、すべて皆完全に解きを明かし終わった。弟子たちよ、今や私の最後である。私は今より涅槃に入るであろう。これが私の 最後の教会である。
ありがとうございます。で、お昼のご飯の前の部分からまた続けていますね。So I'm just continuing what I was discussing during the pre-lunch session. Now, as I already told you, the king ordered that there should not be any unpleasant things which can make the prince sad. So every unpleasant thing or dirty thing should be removed from the way through which the prince will be traveling.
午前中の途中までの話なんですけれども、シダルタ王子は宮殿を出ようとした時に、スドーダナ王は彼が通る道の両側から見苦しいもの、悲しみを与えるものをすべてどけるように命じました。
そして神たち、もちろんシュッダダンの自分の希望は、息子はお坊さんに何も放棄しないで、結婚をして、後でこれお様になります。で、それのためにいろいろ、So the king, thinking that, the king never wanted that his son, the prince, should renounce the world and become a monk. He wanted, let him marry and also rule the kingdom after his passing away. And that's why when the prince wanted to travel, he made all these arrangements. But the gods wanted that let him renounce the world, let Siddhartha be the teacher of the humanity. That's why, though all, as we say, unpleasant things or unpleasant views are removed from the way through which you travel, but the gods finally laid an old man who was suffering from disease in the same street, same road through which Siddhartha would travel. So that means there is every possibility that Siddhartha would also see that old and sick man.
いろんな自分の息子が出家しないように王様が工夫したんですけれども、神々が、逆にシッダルタが出家して、人類の大教師になるように働きかけました。その結果、彼が通る道に、病を抱えている老人はそこに歩くように、仕向けました。
So then Shuddhadana did not know about it, about this plot of the god. And then obviously when he was traveling by chariot, he saw that man, old man, also diseased. So then he said, Siddhartha by seeing him said, I am quoting in Sanskrit, King Sarathe Purusha Durbala Alpasthana Uchchunku Uchchushka Mangsa Rudhirattach snayunantaha Shetashiro Viraladanta Krishanga Rupa Alambya Danda Brajate Sukhang Skhalanta. O charioteer, who is this man who is moving very slowly, whose steps are unsteady? He is walking with a stick and he looks very tired, powerless, moving very slowly, and he is becoming very reduced, thin, and all his hair of the head become white. There are no teeth, and all the veins are seen from outside. Why it is like that? And, what's the cause of it? Because for the first time in his life he saw that's sin.
神々の、企みによって、シダルタ王子は馬車に乗っている時に、この、病を抱える老人に出会いました。そして、業者チャンダカに言いました。我が業者、このゆっくりよじよじ歩くお方、松林で体を支えて非常に疲労して力がない、痩せている、髪の毛はすべて白くなった、歯がすべて抜けている、そして、静脈はすべて皮膚から見える、人はどなたですか？
どうしてその状態になりました？ Now then charioteer answered, Esho hi deva purusha jaraya vibhutaha kshinendriya sudukkito balavirya hino bandhu janena paribhuta anatha bhutaha karya samartha apaviddha bane badaru. What does it mean? It said, my Lord, this person is now suffering from the old age and disease. As you know, Bhagavad Gita, Jara, there is a particular word, Jara, Sanskrit, Jara. Jara, Badhi, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Badhi. So when Bhagavad Gita says, you see that this life is anitya and asukha. This word is particularly used in Bhagavad Gita. Anitya and asukha. So anitya means chapter 9. You will find that sloka, verse. Anitya means not nitya. A in the anai. Asukha, not happy, unhappy. Then in the same chapter, there is another word, dukkhalayam ashashatam. So I found that expression before I read it, but I just did not mark it. So in the same chapter, the same idea is there. This life is out in Bhagavad Gita, dukkha alayam ashashatam. Same meaning. Dukkha alayam. Alayam means basho. Dukkha means kurushimi. Kurushimi to kanashimi no basho. Kono sekai. O shashyatam. Shashyatam ga eiyen. O shashyatam eiyen de nai. Honto onaji desho? Anityam asukham. To dukkhalayam to shashyatam. Ryoho chapter 9. Mite kudasai ne. Chapter 9 no naka ni Gita ni onaji koto 2回にあります。それをSaruthi replied, now this person Then another chapter he says, Bhagavad Gita, Lord says, you should always find out why it is asukha. Then he explains janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi, dukkha. So there are the body is subject to 4 stages. What are the 4 stages? The birth itself is troublesome. Then because, after birth, the baby is absolutely helpless. Then, if he is hungry, it cannot tell. If there is pain, it cannot tell. So it completely depends on the mother. So complete helplessness. So, birth. That way, it is a source of unhappiness. Then mrityu, death. So everyone knows that there is the greatest fear is this kore shinukyofu, fear of death. Painful. If it is a painless death, everyone may say, oh, fine. But always death is preceded by disease, natural death. If there is accident, it's different. So always this is preceded by death. So death preceded by disease. So disease means very, very painful, and no one does not knows how long this painful state will continue. So this is mrityu and vyadhi, disease. Disease may be at any time during the life. Not a particular age, that's what it will be. Only in the old age, it's not like that. During your life, many times there are possibilities of disease. Then jara, old age. The old age itself is a difficult state. Unless one has that old age, people do not understand it. As long as they are fine, physically they cannot understand. So Bhagavad Gita says for 4 reasons. Janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi. The world is full of, the life is full of unhappiness, full of suffering.
You did not finish what Lord Buddha. You read that
Now just
sloka, but
now first that's my introduction. Then I tell you.
で王子は、行者ちゃんだかは、シダルタに答えました。王子様、この人は老いている。病を抱えている。で、この、概念も、バガバギータ第9章にもあります。それは、ドッカラヤマシーシャタムという、この世、
ドッカーラヤム、ドッカアラヤとアシャーシャタム。
この世は永遠ではない。
で、アニティア、アスカ。
はい。楽しい場所ではない。苦しみ、悲しみに満ちています。そして、その原因は、ダンマ・ムリテュ・ジャラ・バディ。それは、日本語、仏教用語でもあります。生老病死の原因です。生生まれることは苦しいです。赤ちゃんは無防備でお母さんに頼り切っています。死は怖い。苦しみに満ちている。
Chapter 8. And 9, and this is chapter 8. Okay. Then Dukkhalam Ashashasana, chapter 8. Towards the end, maybe, na? Or 10. So, chapter 8, Dukkhalam Asashatam, but meaning same. Anitya and Asukha. Then,
はい、死は、恐怖、怖いもの、苦しみに満ちたものです。 みんな、楽視すれば怖くないでしょうが苦しい、自然に死ぬと例えば水疱とかあるいは、病気で亡くなると必ず、何回も何回も病気に引っかかって苦しむでしょう。その人生の中に何回も病気にかかって苦しむ。そして、多い今元気で若い人は分からないけれども体が年取っていくと、どれほど難しい状況であるかお分かりになるでしょう。
So the charioteer said, Isho hi deva, O Lord, Purusha, this person, Jaraya abhivata Jara, what I said, Jara, old age, and Kshina Indriya, all his senses become weak. All his senses have become weak. Sudukhito, それからとても is very sad. Bala virya hino, no power. Bala strength. Chikara zenzen nashi. Bala virya hino. Bandhu janena paribhuta. All his relatives abandoned him. So relatives are not with them. It is said as long as a person earns money, then his relatives take good care of him. The moment he does not earn any money, everyone neglects him. This is the hard world. Especially in the old age, the old person generally, even if he is in the family, almost is segregated. No one takes care. I mean, of course, he is given food and sometimes given, but rarely even the relatives visit him. So, Bandhu Janena Pariyan, his old friends also naturally do not come. Bandhu Janena Paribhuta Anatha Bhuta. He has no one to take care. Anath. Orphan, like orphan. And Karya Samartha. Cannot do any work. Apaviddha Banevadaru. Example is a dry wood is, for example, is found in a forest. A just dry wood. If the key is there, then it has life. But if a dry wood, just is a piece of dry wood, so this old man who is diseased is compared with a dry piece of wood in a forest. So that is his condition. So he explained.
王子様、この、方は年取った人で、彼の感覚は弱くなりました。脆くなりました。そして悲しんでいます。勢力がない。彼の親戚はみんな、彼を見捨てました。コメントかもしれないんですけれども、お金を稼ぐ人が稼いでる間に親戚はよく面倒見てくれるんですけれども、稼がない時に、あんまり面倒見てくれない。
これは observation。
で、彼を、まさに隔離させているような状況で最低限のお世話する。そして、続きまして業者は言いました。友人も来ない。彼は孤児のようで仕事もできない。まるで乾燥した木材のように、森の中に捨てられて役に立たない。
Then Siddhartha again asked, Kula dharma esha ayamassa hi tang bhanahi अधवापि सर्वजगतस्य इयं ह्यवस्था शीघ्रं भनाहि वचनं यथभूतमेतत् श्रुत्वा तथार्थम् इह योनि sanchitayishe. So it means, he asks the charioteer, please tell me, is it the tradition of the family, or is all people have the same tradition, or it's a tradition of that particular family of that old person? Just tell me. So answer me so that I can ponder about it. What may be the real reason of this? So he answered. Siddhartha asked this question to the charioteer.
この時シーダルタは尋ねました。行者よ、この人に起こったことはその家族だけの伝統のものでしょうか、あるいはすべての人に起こることでしょうか。教えてください。私は、その事実を深く理解したいからです。
Then the charioteer answered. So this question is very interesting. He said, Naitasya deva kuladharmo na rashtradharmaha sarve jagasya jara jauvana dharshayati tubhyang pi matri pitri bandhava jnati sangho jaraya amuktang nahi anya gatir janasya. He said, the charioteer said, what he said? My lord, that means prince, it is not the tradition of that family, of that person, nor is it the tradition of the country. Everyone's condition will be like that. Every person's youth will be finally reduced to this state, old age and disease. For example, you, your father, your mother, your friend, your relatives, no one can escape from the state of old age. There is no other, everyone has to undergo this same condition. Then, in some other versions are there. So Siddhartha asked, will Gopa, his beautiful wife, Gopa will also have to have the same condition? Then charioteer said, yes, your beautiful wife also will have to pass through this state. Then Siddhartha became very sad and very thoughtful. Okay.
Wife name is in Yashoda Maharaj?
Huh?
Yashoda?
What I said?
Gopa? No. That
Yashodhara.
There's
Yashodhara or Gopa?
Gopa?
Two names.
Oh.
Gopa and Yashodhara.
Mm-hmm. Is that among Bengalis, Maharaj, or common? I've never
See,
any.
the history is there.
で、業者は答えました。王子様、この出来事はその家族の伝統だけでも国の伝統だけでもなくて誰一人 残らず、経験せざるを得ないことです。あなたもあなたの父親、母親、友人、親戚、みんな、若さを失って老いて病にかかる、誰も逃れることができません。そしてもう一つの、別の、
version,
別の、
additional.
I'm trying to think of the word, 他の、伝説とかもあるので、そこの中に、仏様が聞きました。私の、美しい奥様も同じ状態になるんですか？
例えと言ってます。例えば、私の奥さんも同じ状態に入りますか？そうです。So,
で、それを聞いたときに非常に悲しまれました。
then he said, yes. Then Siddhartha answered, Dhik Sarathe, Dhik, shame. Sarathe, Abudha Balajanasya Buddhi, Yat Uivanena Madatta Jarangna Varshi, Avartaya Shiha Rathang Punarhang Prabakshi, Punarhang Prabekshe, King Maha, Krila Rativir, Jararasritasya. Then he said, charioteer, how foolish are the people. Why foolish? Being proud of their youth, they completely forget that finally they will have to also subject to this old age and disease. They completely forget about this and get addicted to pleasure. You please return. I want to see that old man again. Mata mitai. Then he said, so this old age will also overpower me. This stage will also come to me. Then why should I indulge in pleasure anymore? So this is interesting, this particular point. Other people, they don't mind. But Siddhartha said, if that is the condition, that finally my state also will be like that, I will be subject to disease and old age, then why should I indulge in pleasure and forget about it? So, let me go and again, to have the impression strong, to make the impression strong, let me see that old man again. Hmm.
王子は答えました。この皆さんはなんと愚かな者たち。若さを自慢して、自分たちも老いて病うことを忘れるように快楽に浸っている。私にも同じこと起こるですか？はいと聞いたときに、では私はなぜこれから自分が快楽に浸ることができましょうか？またあの老人のところに連れてきてください。シッダルタはもっと深い印象を作りたかったからです。
Then next day, Siddhartha told again the charioteer, Charioteer, today I shall go outside through the south gate, and again see the city and finally reach the beautiful garden. So please lead me, take me.
別の日に業者に向かって、今日は、南の出口から出て、お美し公園までに連れて行きなさい。今日はまた他の景色を見たいです。
Then the charioteer obeyed him. Then again, by the side of a road, he saw an old man who is diseased. Then seeing him, Siddhartha asked, King Sarathe Purusha Rupa Vivarna Gatraha Sarvendriyebhi Vikalo Guru Prasya Santaha Sarvanga Shushka Udarakula Prapto Krichaha Mutre Purisha Swaki Tishtati Kutsanire. Kutsaniye means, O charioteer, why this man is now sitting? See, his surrounding is full of his own stool and urine, and his whole body has become very pale. Senses are not working. He is again and again shying. And with very difficulty, he is passing his time. What is the reason?
He's shying.
I mean, deep shy, making deep shy.
Sigh.
Shy, yes. S-I-G-H.
Sigh.
Shy.
Yeah, it's not, it's sigh, but it's not shy.
Shy.
このまた、南口出て、道端に、非常に重篤な病気にかかっている人を見ました。そして業者に聞きました。どうしてこの方は自分の便としこに囲まれてあそこに座り込んでるんですか？顔は青ざめた顔で、感覚は働かない、息苦しく呼吸している、時間を過ごすのはなかなか大変そうです。
Then the charioteer answered, Esho hi deva purushaha paramangilano vyadhi bhayam upagato marananta praptaha arogya teja rahito bala viprahino atrana viprasarano hi parayanascha. He said, my lord, this person is diseased and he is feeling great pain. His death is near at hand. There is no chance of his being cured. So he is completely powerless, having no way of saving his body, saving his life. He completely became helpless.
業者は答えました。王子様、彼は重い病気にかかっています。非常に苦しい。治療すべがない。彼は間もなく死にます。彼はどうしようもないです。
Then Siddhartha commented, Arogyata cha bhavate yata sapna krida Vyadhir bhayancha ima idrisha ghora rupam Konama vigga purusha ima drishtva avasthat क्रीडारतिंच जनयेत शुभ संगीतं शुभ संगीतं va. The meaning is, as if we play in dreams. So that play has no meaning. It's in dream, play in dream. So like that, when curing the disease is impossible, then the disease has, have you heard the word terminal disease? Kitagoto arimasu ka? Terminal disease. That means, terminal means that will end the life. Shinimas. That type of disease, when one has, is called terminal disease. So it's dangerous. So, knowing this type of condition, that there is a possibility how there is absolute, everyone has to experience such a state. No wise man can be addicted to pleasure. By knowing that everyone has to pass through this condition, no wise man can get addicted to pleasure.
シダルタの答えは、これはまるで夢で遊んでいるようなものです。みんな必ずこのような、末期病気に直面すると知ると、知恵ある者は必ず快楽に、浸ることがないでしょ
う。Then, another day Siddhartha decided to go out through the western door, and the charioteer took him in that way, through that door.
別の日に西口から、出ました、行者とともに。
Then Siddhartha saw a dead man. So first a man who is suffering from old age. Then the next man suffering from disease. And now this time he saw a man who was dead.
で今までは老いた人、病にかかった人を見たんですけれども、今回死んだ人を見ました。
Achha, what is the pronunciation of beer or bayar? Bayar. That means dead body is carried by that B-I-E-R. What the pronunciation? I could not check it. Beer or bayar?
I don't know.
Hey, Anirban Maharaj, can you check it? B-I-E-R, what is the pronunciation? B-I-E-R. Beer. Pronunciation beer.
R is silent. Beer.
Beer. Okay.
A movable frame on which a coffin or a coffin.
Yes. So, then, by seeing that man, Siddhartha asked, King Sarate Purusha Manchopari Grihitva? Manchopari, that means beer. Uddhuta Kesha Nakha Pangshu Shire Kshipanti Paricharayitta Viharantu Rastalayanto Nana Bilapa Bachanani Udirayantaha. That means, O charioteer, why that person is carried on the shoulder with the beer, and people around him are crying, and then hitting their own body out of sadness. What is the reason of it?
シダールタは質問しました。お行者、なぜこの人の、死んだ体を担いで、周りはみんな泣いて悲しみ不しがれてる人たちは自分の体を叩いてるんですか？
Then the charioteer answered, Esho hi deva purusho mrittu jambu deepe nahi bhuya matripitri dakshati putradaram apahaya bhoga griha matri pitri mitra jnati sangham paraloka praptu nahi drakshati bhuya jnatim. Then the charioteer answered, My lord, the prince, this person died. He cannot see his father, mother, son, wife again. He has to give up his house and all relatives, and he has gone to the other world. He cannot no more be seen by his relatives. Hmm.
王子様、彼は亡くなりました。彼は二度と父、母、子供、妻を見ることができません。彼は仕方なく自分の家や親戚から離れなければなりません。
Then Siddhartha made a comment. Dhik yauvanena jaraya samavidrutena arogya dhik vivida vyadhi parahatena dhik jivitena purushona chiryasthitena dhik panditasya purushasya prati prasangahi yadi jara na bhaveya naiva vyadhirna mrittu तथापि च महादुःखं पंचस्कन्धं धरन्तो किं पुनः जरव्याधि मृत्यु नित्यानुबद्धः साधु प्रतिनिवर्त चिन्तयिषे प्रमोचम. The very significant made his reply. What he said? They shame to this youth and youthful pleasures, because after this youth they will become the old age, without exception. Then, now Suru, curing the disease, also it is meaningless, because we can be cured from one disease, but it will may be followed by another disease. Here is one interesting point. You know, sometimes we say, oh, my life has been saved. 皆さんいいことわかりますか？例えば病気があるときで治りました。その時皆さん何が答えてます？私はまた何ですか？ Now I am saved. 私は今また元気になりました。元気になりましたね。元気になりました。But it says, Siddhartha says, this genki is very temporary, 一時的。Because again another disease may come. 別の 病気があるの可能性絶対あります。それ、ベリーコモンな。例えばある病気を治りましたから OK。今度は私はセーフ、安全。安全ではないです。で、after some time, maybe that's why another disease. And in the old age, one after another. So, as you see, the old age people, they have to go to the dentist, they have to go to the eye specialist, they have to go to the ear to ENT specialist. Problem of hearing is there. Then the stomach is not, digestion is not good, proper. あちこち痛い。それではないですか。So continuously the hospital become his home. 病院の中のうちになります。その状態ではないですか。Every day going to the clinic. So that is the condition. So by seeing this, see, is it not meaningless to live in such a way, in that pleasure seeking? 快楽が好き、その人 life, is it not meaningless? So those wise men are also, it's the same to those wise men who know all this, still they indulge in pleasure. Even if there is no old age, no death, no disease, still without the help of others people cannot live. He cannot live by himself alone. He definitely needs other people's help. So that is also the cause of suffering. So, with all this condition being present, you see, that we have to suffer. There is nothing to wonder. It is nothing to wonder that we have to suffer. So I shall go back home and think how I can remove the sufferings of life. By seeing all this, now I am convinced suffering is inevitable. So I now would like to think deeply how to remove the sufferings. So slowly you see the transformation from a prince to a all-renouncing monk happened. That's why I am giving you all these details. So this is a pen picture of it. It does not happen suddenly. So slowly how it happened. So all this, now my descriptions will show to you.
仏様もまた言いました。人はなんと愚かなもの。その若さはやがて、老いて失ってしまうもので、快楽に浸る意味がない。年取って病気になって治療を行い回復したとしてもまた病気が相次ぎます。そしてこれらのことをしても快楽に浸ることをやめない人もなんと愚か者です。例えば老い、病、死がなくても生きるために他人の助けが必要になるため、常に苦しみに満ちているこの世界は不思議ではない。私は家に戻ってその生老病死の苦しみの原因と解決策について深く考えたいと、業者に言って、家に戻りました。 このような、いきさつがあって、シッダルタ王子は少しずつすべてを放棄する死刑僧に、なっていく、進化が見えてきました。
Then another day, Siddhartha had gone out through the northern gate, and there again the gods placed a mendicant, the monk, in the street. By seeing him, Siddhartha asked the charioteer, Kim sarathe purusha shanta prashanta chitta not kshipta chakshu brajate yumatra darshi kashaya vastra vasano suprashantachari patram grihitva nacha uddhata unnatova. O charioteer, who is this person who looks very calm and quiet, who looks very peaceful, full of peace? His eyes are not restive, and he wears a saffron dress, and is neither proud nor meek, and he is moving with a begging bowl and silently waiting with a peaceful heart for his last days and the death. Who is he?
またある日は、北口から出て神々がそこに托発する僧が、出会うように仕掛けました。そして王子シッダールタは行者に聞きました。行者よ、あの方はどなたですか？彼の姿はとても穏やかで平和に満ちている。目つきも落ち着いています。橙色の衣をまとい、傲慢でもなく、弱々しくでもない人で、ただ小辻をして静かに彼の最後がやってくるのを待っています。
Then the charioteer answered, Esho hi deva purusha iti bhikshu nama. Bhikshu, mendicant. Apahaya kamarataha subinita chari. Prabhajya praptaha samamatmana esha mano. Sangrada desha bigato tishtati pindacharya. It means, O charioteer, O my lord, this person is called Bhikshu. The Obosanですね。Bhikshu. He has given up all desire of lust, and he has taken this life, and he is searching how to get the peace of mind. And then he is free from malice and all other darts of the mind, and he is begging little food which is sufficient for him to live. So he is a mendicant.
行者は答えました。彼はビクシュ、お坊さん、または遍歴僧です。彼は肉欲などを放棄して、心の平安が得られるように、努力しています。愚道者です。彼には悪意がない。心の汚れはすべて追い払われています。彼は少量の食べ物を骨食して、それで、生活しています。
Then Siddhartha replied, Sadhu subhashitamidam mama rochate cha pravajyanama vidubhis satatam prashasta hitam atmanascha parasatta hitancha yatra sukha jeevitam sumadhuram amritam phalancha. Then he said, O charioteer, what you said, I like it most. It's very nice, great, wonderful. The real man of wisdom always praises, full of praise of this life of mendicant. By leading a life of mendicant, one can do his own good and also do good to others, and can live a life of peace, and finally gets the wonderful nectar, that is liberation. So I really like this particular life.
王子は言いました。行者よ、この方は送っている生活はなんと素晴らしい、なんと偉大なことです。知恵のある人はこのような生活を尊ぶものです。托発する僧侶は自分と他人の最善に、貢献できる平和な生活を得る、下脱の甘露を手に入れることもできます。
Then Siddhartha, in that way, was determined that the life of pleasure is not for him. He will renounce everything, renounce the palace, renounce his wife. Meanwhile, a child was born to him. Give up them, give up parents, and then become and lead a life of the monk. So, his father, when he saw that Siddhartha, more and more his thoughts of denunciation as becoming more and more strong, he wanted to persuade him not to lead that life, but failed. And one night he had gone to the bedroom of his father, Shuddhodhan, and said, Father, this night I shall leave the palace and become a monk.
王子は自分にとって快楽の生活は向いてないと分かり、自分は宮殿、妻、生まれた子供と両親を離れて出家僧になることを、どんどん覚悟が出てきました。父親は王子の出家する覚悟がますます強くなっていることを見て、やめさせようと 話したんですけれども、シダルタは彼に聞き入られず、ある夜お父さんの部屋に入って言いました。私は今夜出家します。
Then with four objectives to fulfill the four purposes, Siddhartha left the palace, left the life of a prince and became a monk. What are those four purposes? One purpose is to how to liberate the people from bondage. So the world is a place of bondage. How to be free from that bondage, number one. Number two, how they can have an eyes of wisdom, because avidya, agyan, life is full of avidya and agyan. So that they should now have, if they have the eyes of wisdom, then they can understand that they are victims of avidya, ignorance. Then the third objective was, we will show them the right path. What is the correct path? For these deluded people. And the fourth one, that he will show them a dharma, a religion, which will help to solve the problem of rebirth and lead a life of suffering. That means, in other way, how to get liberation, Gedatsu. So with these four purposes, he left his home and hearth and became a mendicant.
仏様は、次の4つの目標を達成するために宮殿を離れて出家しました。1つ目は人を束縛した状態から解放させるため、その解決策を見つかるため。2つ目は、無知の暗闇に暮らしている人々の、目を目覚めさせて、彼らに知恵の目を開かせる。つまり今無知の影響で苦しんでいる人々はそこから目覚めていくように努める。3つ目は、困惑に陥っている人は正しい道を歩むように。そして4つ目は人々に輪廻転生から逃れて下脱を得る法または宗教、つまりダルマを教えるためです。
Then when he decided to leave the palace and asked his charioteer Chandaka, you now make the necessary preparation so that I shall leave the city by the chariot, and then I shall just move freely. Then when his charioteer Chandaka heard this, then he told Siddhartha, my lord prince, you see, you have a very beautiful wife. Now a son is born to you, and you are the owner of such a beautiful kingdom. After your father, you will be the king. So You have such a wonderful kingdom, so many pleasures to enjoy. Many sages also do spiritual practice to have such enjoyment. And you have already that enjoyment. So why are you giving up all this? Then Siddhartha answered. This is very significant. He said, Aparimito anantakalpa maya chandaka bhukta kamanamimang rupascha shabdascha gandharasa sparshata nanavidha divyaya manushochana triptiru abhut vajrashani parusha shakti sarashma varshe vidyut prabhana jalitang kathitancha lohang adipta shaila shikhara prapateyu murthini nova ahang punarjaneya griha bhilasham. So this is a wonderful word of renunciation, and also here explained the cause of renunciation. Why I want to give up? Then he said, Chandaka, the name of the charioteer. For many, many cycles, we believe in cycles of life, kalpa in Sanskrit. Not only in this birth, many, many births in one cycle, but not only in one cycle, in many cycles, I have enjoyed the rupa, rasa, gandha, sparsha, shabda. That means all the objects of senses. Many things I have enjoyed in this life, in the world, and in the heaven. But still, I am not satisfied. So that is the lesson. So I have enjoyed everything. As Swamiji said, Swami Vivekananda and Sri Ramakrishna said, unless one has the experience of enjoying all sorts of enjoyment, one cannot renounce. If he renounce without having enjoyment, but the desire of enjoyment is still there. That's why either in this life or in previous lives, he must enjoy whatever is to be enjoyed. And then real renunciation will come. So here the same thing, Siddhartha says, Chandaka, I have enjoyed all these things for so many lives. Still, I do not feel satisfied. The condition is like that. That means it cannot give one satisfaction. Enjoyment finally cannot give the satisfaction. Now to have reach this conclusion, one needs enjoyment. That enjoyment cannot give satisfaction. For that enjoyment is necessary. Otherwise there will be always a hankering after enjoyment. But at the same time, one should, when one understands it, then he should give up, not to take the enjoyment again. So he said, nothing has satisfied me even after all these enjoyments. Now I have taken a vow that I shall give up my house, give up my home and hearth. Then he says, whatever befalls me, any danger, the thunderbolt, the axe, the arrow, the rock, caminari, lightning, the very hot, red hot iron, then the volcano's fire, may befall me, befall my head, but nothing can make me return home. I cannot not enjoy anymore. Nothing can motivate me to enjoy the life. So when Siddhartha told his determination that I will definitely renounce, then Chandaka, observing that, made his chariot ready, and Siddhartha boarded the chariot, and then he left the palace. Hmm.
シダルタは答えました。その前に、チャンダカ行者は言いました。準備するように言われましたけれども、そのためにシダルタは、準備してください。私は宮殿を出てこれから自由になります。でも行者は言いました。王子様、あなたには美しい奥様がいます。子供が生まれたばかりです。あなたはこの王国の主です。あなたの父親の後継者です。彼が亡くなったら、あなた様は王様になります。ある修行者もまた厳しい苦行をして、あなた今楽しんでいることを楽しむために努力するんですけれども、すでにあなたの手に入っています。しかし、シダルタは答えました。私は、宇宙の時間軸、空の空、周期、何億年ぐらいの長い間に生まれ変わって、天に生まれて、この地球にも生まれて、五感で楽しめるものを全部楽しんできました。けれどもまだ足りない、満足できません。スワミヴィベカナンダもこう語っています。人は、楽しめるべきものを全部楽しみ終わってからでなければ本当に出家できない。根性または前世で全ての楽しみを終えた人だけが、そしてその楽しみには、幸せがない、満足できないことに気づいた方々だけが本当に出家できる準備ができています。つまり未練がない状態で出家しなければならない。そして、それを受けて仏様が言いました。私はこう誓います。私はいかなる運命にたどっても、例えば、雷電に打たれても、石に打たれても、矢にやれても、非常に熱い、鉄の棒に叩かれても、火山の火に焼かれても、そんな苦しいことがあっても、私は絶対家に戻らない。この宮殿での楽しみももう一度味わうことがありません。王子様の、覚悟を見た行者は、その覚悟に感銘を受けて、馬車の準備を急いでやりました。
You know the same story is that Mahabharata, Yajati. You have that story? For thousands of years, he enjoyed the life. He was not satisfied. So then he had 4 sons. So then he asked God, how can I enjoy further? Because now my body has become old, though I have still desire to enjoy, but my body cannot permit, because all the senses have become weak. Then they said, okay, you have 4 sons, you can exchange your old age with the youth of your son, if he agrees. So then Yajati requested his eldest son. He said, no. Why should I agree? I am young. I am enjoying the life. Why should I exchange my youth for your old age? Because old age means suffering. Then one of his sons agreed. Then Yajati again became young. His body became young. And again he started enjoying the life. But in enjoying life even for a long time, finally what he said? Najatu kamo kaman is very, very famous verse of Mahabharata. I believe I told you before many times. Najatu kamo kamanam upabhogena sammati. Habisha Krishna Vartmeva Bhuya Eva Vivardhate. Toshiko-san, kitagoto arimasu ka? He said, by enjoyment cannot be stopped. Rather, by enjoyment, desire will more and more become strong. Every enjoyment makes the desire of enjoyment stronger. She gives the example, if you pour butter in fire, will it quench? Not put out. Will it put out the fire, or it will become more strong? You understand? 火にもしバターをあげますと、火は何ですか？止めん？消さない。
いや消す。
What? 何？あれ聞こえない。
火にバターを注ぐと消えるどころかますます強くなる。
So that's the same conclusion. What Buddha said and Yajati said, same. That enjoyment makes the desire of enjoyment stronger. It is not reduced. So Buddha said like that and was determined to live. And then finally Chandaka prepared the chariot, and then whole night the chariot went on. When the morning, you see, it became the morning, then what he said, what he did, he gave up all his dress of a prince, gave up. Then he has some crest, so he also took it away and threw it. Then he saw a hunter who was dressed in a saffron colored dress. So he exchanged his beautiful dress with that hunter. The cloth, beautiful cloth with that hunter. And then just walked away. And Chandaka, with all his ornaments and everything, returned to the palace. So this is how the life of a mendicant started.
マハバラタにも似たような、エピソードがあります。ヤジャーティ王という王様がいました。
いますね。前何回も そのその例を何回見ましたですね。ベリーコモンですね。
彼は何千年も楽しみに浸って年を取ってしまったんですけれども満足できませんでした。でもまだまだ楽しみたいと思って、神様に聞きました。私はどのようにしてもっと楽しめることができましょうか。
This part I am not very sure. He asked a sage or asked some god, but anyhow, the advice was like that.
はい、詳しいいきさつはマハバラタでご確認いただければ幸いです。とにかく、聖者か神に聞いて、その方は、答えました。あなたは4人の息子がいます。彼らに自分の老いと、彼らの若さを、取り替えてもらえませんかと聞いてみてください。そうすると彼が長男に向かって息子よ、私は今年取ってる、楽しめないからあなたの若さをこの老いと、取り替えていただけませんか。でも息子は嫌です。
もちろん嫌でしょ。普通誰でも同意しません。同意しますか？絶対。ですけれどもこれが面白い。ヤジャーティは率直で言いました。私いっぱい楽しんでもまた私欲望ありますからそれ満足してよし、あなたどうでしょうか。これが簡単だよ。それがold father will tell, I concede this to the son. It's not easy also. But anyway,
で、嫌で、次の子にもで次の子もで最後の末っ子に来たら末っ子ははいわかりましたお父さん、私の若さを取ってください。でまた王様は大喜びに若くなっていっぱい楽しみましたが途中でまた若くなっていろいろ楽しんでるけれども満足できていない。それでだから先ほどの、サンスクリット語の、説がありました。楽しみは楽しみで、止めることができない。まさに火にバターを注ぐように、消えるどころか、ますます増えてしまうという洞察悟りを得ました。仏様も同じことを理解していましたので夜、チャンダカと一緒に出てずっと夜夜更かしして、走ってました。で朝方になると馬車が止まり王子は自分の、おしゃれな服を捨てて冠も捨ててで近くに、オレンジ色橙色の服を着ている漁師を見てで、自分のおしゃれな服とその橙色の服と取り替えてで、そこから、森に歩き、出て、見えなくなりました。そして、王子が残してたものを業者は拾って、宮殿に戻りました。でこのように仏様が出家僧になるいきさつを語ってきました。
Now here I just make it this deviation. You know, still now many young people become the monks. Say for Ramakrishna Mission, Shukkei ですね。Not just so-called Obosan, as we see in Japan, but actually Shukkei. Why? Why they become? Because many of them had made very good qualification, they did a very good job, draw a lot of salary. But what is the thought behind their becoming a monk? So, most of them, I can tell you, they think, suppose I marry. After that, what? You see, children will beget. After that, what? Children's education. After that, what? Just dragging until the retirement. After retirement, what? Almost nothing to do. Then what? Death. So this stereotyped, life is very stereotyped. So I do not want to go through that stereotyped life. I want to lead a different type of life. So that means any person who thinks like that, we should know definitely in their previous lives they had more or less have all enjoyments. Now they are born with the samskara of this detachment and leading a life of renunciation. And of course, finally, the grace of God is definitely there. But if you want to analyze it, this thought does not appear in the ordinary person's mind. One does not marry, one may not marry. That does not mean that he or she is leading a life of renunciation. No. He must still enjoy, though he is not or she is not married. So not marriage and the life of renunciation is entirely different. Of course, possibility is there. Those who do not marry, they also may not become as monk, but still they do not lead a life of enjoyment. But what I say, that this type of thought comes only when they are more or less satisfied their desire of enjoyment. And then this type of thought comes to renounce the life of a householder, hearth and home.
ラマクリシュナミッションには、たくさんの若者が、例えば高学歴のある若者や、高収入の仕事に就いていた若者が、出家して、僧になります。このほとんどの皆さんはこの、考え方を持っています。では私は結婚すれば次に子供が生まれます。その次に子供を学校に送り、教育費を払って、彼らを育てなければならない。そしてなんとなく、生活を送り、青壮年を経て定年退職します。そして退職した後はほとんど何もすることない。この型にはまった生活を送りたくない。でこのような考え方を持つのは、必ず前世で楽しみをすべてを満喫して根性、この無執着の念は強くて、さらに神の恩寵もあって出家します。普通の一般人はこのような考え方を持ちません。そしてもう一つの大事なポイントは、独身の人でも快楽に浸っています。独身とは言って出家僧のように全てを放棄していると限りません。もちろん独身の中にも自分なりに努力して快楽楽しまずに、修行している人もいますけれども、出家する人は基本的にその執着がなくて欲望がないということを覚えておいてください。 日本のお坊さんみたいに、ではないですけど。You said it yourself?
Before that, not just like, yes, before. Anyway. So now, after he became this all-renouncing mendicant, Buddha, then still he became not a Buddha, Siddhartha, had gone to different teachers of religion, Hindu teachers, and they had their own ways of instruction according to the Vedas and Upanishads, but nothing could satisfy him. So finally, he himself started spiritual practice alone for many years, and sometimes eat only one food grain one day. Just every day only one grain of rice. So that made him very, very emaciated. I think there are some sculpture of Buddha where all his bones. Have you seen that sculpture or painting? The Buddha with all the bones of his body are visible. Toshiko-san,見たことある? 見たことある? Internet there's so I've seen that sculpture. So there's a very, very famous.
In Kamakura, Malaysia と
So
遠隔寺にもあります。
So then finally when he just thought he became powerless to do spiritual practice, then one yes, show that the first time.
県庁寺。ありがとう。
そうです。Now, anyway, so now what happened? So finally it is said, different versions are there. According to one version, one milkmaid girl, she prepared some payash. It's called Sujata. And still there is a village near Buddha where he had his enlightenment. That in that village Sujata used to live. So some devotees had gone with me to Buddha. None is here among them. So then Siddhartha ate that and then made a promise. This promise is very, very is an oft quoted saying. What is that in Sanskrit? Yahasane shushatu me sharirang tvak asti mangsang pralancha jatum aprappa bodhing bahukalpa durlabhang noiva sanat kaya mataschalishyate. So that means I sit firmly here with this resolve that my whole body is reduced to just skeleton or whatever will dry, may fall. Still I shall not give up my sit until that very, very precious, very, very special enlightenment I experience. So with this promise, resolution is set. And then just when I was going to have, just before the enlightenment, the Mara, the temptation, the Lord of temptation appeared before him and tried to tempt him in various ways, but Buddha did not become a victim to its temptation. And then finally, he experienced enlightenment.
仏、まだシダールタでしたけれども、さまざまな 先生のところに行ってベーダやオパニシャッドについて学びましたが、満足を得る状態に達成しなかったので、一人で、森の中で、非常に厳しい苦行を重ねました。ある時期、一日米一粒だけを食べるなどをして、体は、非常に痩せて骨柄でした。先ほどの写真の通りです。そしてもう自分の体に力がない状態になった時に、その村の近くに住んでいたメウシカイ・スジャタが、パエシ、今日の昼皆さん食べたパエシ、父粥を持ってきて食べさせました。それを食べて、元気になったシダールタは次の誓いを立てました。この体は、骨柄になっても崩れてしまっても、私は悟りを開くまでにこの座を立ちません。そして取り組んでいる最中に、大いなる誘惑者マーラが現れてきて、さまざまな形で誘惑しようとしたけれども、シダールタは、動揺せずに、瞑想をし続けて、最後に、悟りを開きました。
That's why he said later, Madhyapantha, Chudo. That means not too much penance, not too much enjoyment, middle path. What in Bhagavad Gita, Yuktahara Vihar Tikidona Suimin, Tikidona Hatareki arimashita ne? Same. Now, there's not much time to tell you the other, what is his teachings. But just one point I'll just discuss and then close. That is that what happened immediately after the enlightenment.
そのため、後に仏様は中道、つまり極端な苦行もせず、極端に楽しみに浸ることがない真ん中の道を歩めるように進めました。バガヴァギータの中にも、同じ教えがあります。適度に働きなどがあります。で、今日は仏様の教えを深く触れることができないけれども、最後に仏様が悟りを開いた直後にどのような状態でしたか、これから描写します。
Now before that I would like to tell you that Buddha's philosophy was all about sarvam dukkham. The suffering is of course dukkham, that means kurushimi, kanashimi. Then the joy also is suffering. It ends in suffering. Suffering means at the end the happiness also becomes suffering. So suffering is course suffering, then so-called joy is also suffering. So from that you can sometimes conclude that Buddha's philosophy or Buddha's the realization and enlightenment, finally his teaching leads him to only that point which emphasizes that removal of all sufferings is the goal of life. So it's a very negative way or negative presentation of the purpose of life, that is removal of all sufferings. But there is another thing, that no, that's only one aspect. Of course there will be removal of sufferings, but at the same time there will be tremendous joy. This joy part. So just to demonstrate, I to give an example, see the life of Sri Ramakrishna. His life was full of joy. So, on one side there is the end of suffering, on the other side there is an overpowering, you see, overflow of joy. When Sri Ramakrishna enters into Samadhi, as if from every pore of his body, pore you know, pore, kami, no,
Kiana.
joy radiates every pore of his body. So this radiation of joy is the positive aspect of enlightenment. So don't have this image of Buddha that he just emphasized only the removal of sufferings because all life is full of suffering. No. That joy part is there, but it is not much emphasized, unfortunately. Now with this comment I tell you what happened just after Buddha's enlightenment. So there are several versions what happened after. One version says, for 7 days after enlightenment, 7 days day and night, he walked and walked and walked and walked. Why he walked and walked? And at every step a lotus bloomed at every step. Now why he walked for 7 days? The reason is there was so much overflow of joy that he could not contain it. That's why he was just walking for 7 days. Out of tremendous joy which he could not contain, that made him walk for 7 days. So this is a very, very important aspect of the life of Buddha. So that part is somehow, neglected or not emphasized, this joy part. So that's why I am telling, Buddha's life is to say pessimistic. It's not pessimistic. It's a wrong way to say pessimistic. In fact, no prophet, no incarnation of God's life is pessimistic. They are all full of joys, full of peace. So, just to emphasize this, I gave this example of his experience of tremendous joy which he could not contain, that made him walk for 7 days and nights. He could not keep quiet because that would not let him keep quiet, this overflow of joy. So with this point I close today's talk. Thank you so much.
仏様の教えはしばしば非常に悲観的、否定的な教えだと言われています。例えば、サーラバム・ドッカム、一切皆苦、すべては苦しみに満ちています。世俗的な楽しみも、すべての楽しみもやがて苦しみになるので、人生の目的は苦しみを取り除くだけです。しかし、本当の仏様の教え、そして彼の生涯にも、もう一つの側面が、残念ながら、ないがしろされがちな側面があるんです。それは彼がしばしば、甚だしい、非常に強い喜びをしばしば体験していたんです。シリラーマ・クリシュナの人生の中に、彼がサマディに入るや否や彼の体の、全身の毛穴から喜びがあふれ出るようにと、記録されています。すべての預言者の共通点というのは、喜びと平和に満ちていることです。で、一つの一節は仏様が悟りを開いて、7日間悟りを開いたところを行き来歩いていました。で、足元、この足跡から、蓮の花が咲いていました。どうして7日間歩いて行き来していたというと、彼がその喜びをあまりにも強烈であったため抑えることができなくて、
溢れて、
はい、歩くしかなかったです。このことも皆さん仏教の教えを読むときに覚えておいてください。仏様にも、甚だしいとても強いあふれんばかりの、喜びという側面もありました。I said it already. これをもちまして今日のお仏様のお話を終了させていただきます。ご清聴いただきありがとうございました。
Okay. Shanti. Anything? Water? Water, tea.
私にプロダムしちゃダメ。レオのマイクが来るからこっち来た方がいいかな。すみません、これからなんか日本語の歌っていうんで翼をくださいたいので、もし歌詞を合わせの一緒に歌ってね。違う、日本の有名な歌ですけど、鳥は2つのウィングがありますね。鳥 It has two wings. The one is Viveka, one is Vairagya. Bird has 鳥は2つの羽があって、1つがビベーカで、もう1つがバイラッキャの感じで。そのテーマで歌いたいなって思ってます。新しくないよ。
前に歌いましたよね。
スワミジャの生誕祭の時に歌いました。
2回目。
多分ね。なのでみんな知ってますので一緒に歌いましょうね。
逃げられたな。
イエーイ。いいですか？私の願い事が叶うならば、翼が欲しいこの背中に鳥夢
そうですか。メッセージが意味、メッセージ何が意味、メッセージ？
翼が欲しいよ。
え？
自由になりたいよ。
自由。
エターナルフリーダムが欲しいよ。
おお、小学校で。え？
お金とか自分が有名になることよりも、完全な自由が欲しいっていう
おお、
タイプです。
自由とても大事ですね。そしてウポニシャドのいいことそうでしょ。下脱が一番自由。自由の最後の部分が下脱。いくんじゃわかる？自由の最後の形は下脱。最後の状態。Acha, did Monathanji sings that song? I told you na that some swans they appeared and then sang the song. これ前言いましたね。白鳥、何が白鳥？白鳥がこれ来てお釈迦様の前、その時お若いでした。で言いました。で我々は人生の目的わからない。いつも私は飛んでます、飛んでます、飛んでるだけ、どこに行くかわからない。ですけれども私はそれでとても疲れていますから、本当は休みたい、本当は幸せが欲しい。ですけどわからない、どのようにそれができる。それでみんな人生の状態がそうです。その歌です。その歌でギリシチャンドラ・ゴーシュ、それリリックもギリシチャンドラ・ゴーシュ、これメロディもそうです。シャミジ大好きでした、その歌。時々一人で歌ってました。
জানি না কে বা এসেছি কোথায়, কেন বা এসেছি, কে বা নিয়ে যায়, জানি না কে বা এসেছি কোথায়, কেন বা এসেছি, কে বা নিয়ে যায়, যাই ভেসে ভেসে কত কত দেশে, চারিদিকে গোল ওঠে নানা রোল, চারিদিকে ঘোল উঠে নানা রোল, কত আসে যায় হাসে কাঁদে গায়, এই আছে আর তখনই নাই, জুড়াইতে চাই কোথায় জুড়াই, কোথা হতে আসি, কোথা ভেসে যাই, জুড়াইতে চাই কোথায় জুড়াই। जय श्री गुरु महाराज जी की जय, जय महामाई की जय, जय स्वामी जी महाराज जी की जय, जय गंगा माई की जय, जय श्री बुद्ध देव की जय।
今少し瞑想して終わり。Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamivavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. 我々みんな信者、ボランティアに本当はありがたいです。それ例えば、料理、飾り、マイクセッティング、それから通訳する、いろいろ手伝って、本当は、あとはビデオ撮るといろいろ。皆さん本当ありがとうございました。で、それから、我々次の大きなイベントは、シャミビガの祝賀会ですね。で、皆さんこれは6月の6ですね、土曜日。皆さんぜひ来てください。友達と一緒に連れて行って参加してください。で、これ、皆さん聞く人、このライブストリーミングで、その皆さんにも同じことを言ってます。で、6月の礼会ありますか？あります。OK、それでは後でその話します。OK、皆さんまた皆さんにありがとうございました。OK、ちょっと今、T のためにどうぞ。